Hello and welcome to the Parenting Tools podcast. My name is Jason.
And my name is Jordan. This is the podcast where we misuse the word antithesis and where we talk about our lives as parents and dads and all the stuff that goes with it. Today's episode is sponsored by Plum, the smart money app that helps you save and invest money easily. Available to download from your app store.
My app store. That's not even that. That's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh, Jordan, I have had a week.
Mate, you've had a week.
Feels like 3 weeks, to be honest. So
life is hitting you at the minute. It's fair to say.
It is hitting me hard.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the saying? When it rains, it pours.
When it rains, it hits you in the face.
And the nuts.
Wow.
That's how it feels. So a few weeks ago, my daughter was in hospital.
Yeah.
We then later found out that it was pneumonia. And so that's been sticking around, and she was back in hospital. But in between those two hospital visits, my wife was also in hospital. And so we are just shattered. Like literally today, we came out of hospital with my daughter. Went in last night. We before we went into hospital, we had the debate. Do we call 111? Obviously, I was like, I don't want to overreact. And my wife was like, we're not overreacting. She is ill. I never learn. But for some reason, my GP surgery on a Tuesday closes at 4 p.m.
What time is it not like usually?
6:30. Just Tuesdays. Like, are they getting out early for a Domino's?
Champions League.
Is that on Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Who knows?
2 for Tuesdays though. Sounds more realistic.
But regardless, I called and there was still someone there.
Get in.
So maybe they just need to update their website. Maybe they just put it on their website so it's quiet.
Maybe they're a Man United fan and they've been knocked out of the Champions League.
So they're just miserable.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I called the GP, explained the situation. My daughter was like just sleeping all day, really ill, like high temperatures. Obviously based on the fact that she'd had pneumonia. She'd been on antibiotics for 5 days. That was the last day. Nothing had worked. And like we knew what was going to happen before we called. And they said, yeah, take her straight to A&E. And at that point, it's about 6:30. So we kind of said, look, we're going to be in there all night. I said to my wife, you go with your mum and then I'll come later and relieve you. You can come home and I'll stay the night.
Yeah.
So about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I went to hospital. They were still in the A&E part, just waiting. And then we got transferred to a ward, but they didn't want to admit us because when you get admitted, it's hard. You got to then be discharged. And so we just needed to see a doctor, just get a doctor's opinion.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we can't tell you when. It's obviously not the most urgent case, so it could be ages. So I was there until 3 a.m. until the doctor came around.
This morning.
Wow. Yeah, this morning. Wow. And then by this point, my wife was already in the bed with my daughter. She was like sleeping. She was too tired to drive home. And I was on the horrible hospital chair. Funny enough, we were put into the exact same place we were 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Same bed, same chair, same place.
Says Jason was here, like scratched it.
Honestly, I think we might have to sponsor that exact bed. Like, if we ever come into money, that's what I'm doing. But I just thought, I'm going to go home. I'll have 3 hours better sleep on my own bed than I will on this horrible chair. But 3 hours sleep does not feel fun.
No.
Regardless. But anyway, by the time it got to morning, I'd seen the doctor. The doctor was happy. And so I had 3 hours sleep, literally picked her up. My daughter and my wife came home. And now we're both just shattered.
Yeah.
Absolutely exhausted. That's why there hasn't been the podcast episodes out. Because it literally happens every time you've like set off to come to my house. I'm like, Jordan, I can't.
I was just about to leave.
So twice in a row that happened.
I can't remember. But it's all good. Like we've said before, we can't do a podcast about parenting and being a good dad and then being like, right, you go to hospital. I'm recording the podcast this week. So there you go. But she's okay.
She's all right now. Like she's still a bit poorly, but not hospital
Yeah.
ridden, hospital ridden. But like, so she was home with us today. Like, we're taking the days off work, and I said to my daughter, like, you can either spend today with me, but I am very tired, so we're not doing anything.
Vegging.
We are vegging, watching movies. That's it. Or you can go to your nanny's and have fun. She was like, I want to veg. She was a bit poorly.
She knows.
So we just sat. We watched. This is so annoying. Like, because I was so tired, I have no patience. We would watch like 10 minutes of something, and then she would go, I want something else.
Oh, that's the worst.
Because she's been poorly. I can't get mad at her.
Yeah, that's no.
But I was getting frustrated. I watched about 100 different things for the first 10 minutes. Yeah.
Watched Home Alone the other day with our 4-year-old.
Home Alone.
He loved it.
Really?
He loved it. Yeah.
I can't wait. Well, there's some like actual proper golden movies that I'm rediscovering. One we started the other day, Kung Fu Panda.
Never watched it.
It's good.
I will watch it.
I actually enjoyed it. I was annoyed that my daughter didn't want to finish it today. I was like, Kung Fu Panda? It's Jack Black. She was like, who? But anyway, we're all good at the moment.
Good. That is good.
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas, which is 5 days away from now.
Yeah.
5 days away from now.
Doesn't feel like it.
So we wrapped, I say we. One of the best things about being married is that I haven't had to buy or wrap a present in quite a few years.
Like none. You have zero involvement.
No.
Because you posted something to the story of like Dad's face when they open presents.
Yeah.
Is that legit? You have no idea what people have got.
So she actually said, I want you to look at this so you're not clueless on Christmas morning.
No way.
And then I helped with a bit of wrapping, like the last three.
Hold the tape. Put your finger there.
Your finger there. And then she saw me doing it. She was like, give it to me. But so we wrapped all the presents last night, put them under the tree for other people, hidden the kids' presents.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just as I was about to leave, my mother-in-law was around. I was making tea, and I just heard her go, "No, Mila." So I'm like, "What's happening here?" Walk into the living room. She's unwrapped about 3 presents.
3?
Yeah, she got
fair play.
She's efficient. But we've never had that before with our oldest. He'd never did that. And so I'm just wondering, is that a normal thing? Because now you say it, like you put a load of wrapped presents in a room with a toddler. Of course they're going to open it, but
it seems like a normal thing. My daughter likes rules, so she's a rule keeper. So if you tell her something, she'll remember it.
Maybe we didn't tell her.
Maybe just assumed.
Yeah.
But also, I know myself as a kid, I'd have opened all the presents I could find, or at least like opened partly and peeked.
So yeah, I want to know: am I the only one whose kids have delved in to the?
Surely not. Surely that's quite a common thing.
Surely it's common.
We haven't got any presents wrapped this year.
Well, I mean, you've had a busy time
based on the last 3 weeks. Yeah,
it's frail sleep over here.
Not wrapped a single present yet. In fact, tomorrow I need to go buy some more presents.
Well, this could be a year to not.
Well, every year, like I go right, I'm going to be super organised because I'm the chief present buyer in my house.
It's your love language.
I love buying presents. My wife doesn't get involved. It's just I love it. Get it all sorted. And this year I was like, okay, I'll sort all out the presents. And then the other day she went to me, oh, I'm just stressing out about trying to buy for the stockings. I was like, what? I was like, I sort out all the presents. She was like, yeah, but I sort out the stockings and the biscuit for Rudolph. And I'm like, they are not the same. They are.
So you buy for the real people, and I'm stressing about buying for the Rudolph, the reindeer,
for the fake people.
Whoa! Spoiler alert! if you're listening in the car with your kids, you might want to skip the next segment.
I appreciate the mental load, all of that sort of stuff, but they are not comparable.
No. There's
about 3 items on that list. 3 people there, maybe 4 if you include Rudolph and Santa. Stockings, that's a low level present buying.
Yeah.
I've got the whole family.
Yeah. Sorting Rudolph out isn't at the top of the priority list. compared to mum and dad.
The problem that I find is that I always have higher expectations and a higher budget than I can afford. So I start here. Oh, I want to get this.
Budget.
And then I realise, I can't get that for a tenner.
You can't get anything for a tenner anymore.
Inflation.
I was in a shop yesterday, I won't say who they were, and I saw Jaffa cakes for £1.70. I thought, I'll buy a multi-pack. Assumed it was a 3-pack. Single pack.
Is that expensive? I don't.
Mate, Thatcher's
don't buy.
Britain.
Don't.
Gone to the
political.
Gone to the dogs.
How much is the usual pack of Jaffa cakes?
A pound, 50 pence.
50 pence.
Wow, club card prices.
To £1.70.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm just in my mind it should be a pound special offer 50p.
One thing I did notice in our local corner shop, it's a co-op, I will name them, is that a couple of weeks ago I noticed that all the price of the chocolate was like really expensive. I was like, that's ridiculous. The next week it was Christmas prices, and so it was all like they were all red labels, all reduced to normal prices.
Crafty.
I was like, so for like a week and a half, you've had Maltesers at like £2.50. Now they're £1.50.
You've priced me out of Maltesers for a week and a half.
It's good for me, not for
How
everyone
do you
else.
sleep at night? I want to get your opinion on a statement, potentially a controversial statement.
Ooh, I'm
And
ready.
Again, if you're listening with kids, you might want to skip this bit or come back to it. The statement is this.
Doo-doo-doo.
Telling your kids that Santa is real is lying to your kids. Where do you stand on that?
See, it's a tricky one because I definitely.
See, for me, it's not.
It's
make believe. It's up there with the Tooth Fairy. It's just a bit of fantasy.
So the reason I say it's a tricky one is because I definitely feel a twinge of a moral dilemma, but not enough for me to go, this is a moral dilemma. It's just like it kind of is a lie.
Well, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You're not telling the truth.
But it is also make-believe.
Yeah.
And it's like the part of me that wants to overanalyze it, wants to like wrap my daughter up in loads of cotton wool. But actually telling her Santa's real is not going to give her emotional damage for years. Like I've not met many people that's where all their problems began.
Yeah. So you've not met many. So you have met some.
I've met no one. They might exist. But I haven't met anyone where they pinpoint all the root of their problems. That day I found out.
They start pulling the thread and it takes them back to, did you know? But yeah, it's up there with like Tooth Fairy. And like, we all tell our kids little white lies. Like the TV's gone to bed. Do you know what I mean? Or McDonald's is closed. The day
McDonald's is closed.
The day my kids find out.
There's people in there. It's just the staff. It's full. There's no seats.
We had that literally at the weekend. But the day my kids find out that McDonald's is 24 hours, they'll be marching up to me and going, how could you?
Like that's the part of me that's the slight, and it's like it's completely like out of whack in my head of like I know this isn't going to happen. However, there's a small part of me that goes, the day that they find out, is my daughter going to go, you've lied to me my whole life, and this unravels everything.
Yeah, you can't be trusted.
You cannot be trusted.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Were the elves real?
Yeah. Where do we draw the line? I bet the biscuits weren't even for Rudolph.
Who ate the biscuits?
That's why she wants to buy it. We need the biscuits. So yeah, well, it is lying to them, isn't it? But it's not.
It is not like. I mean, it is lying to them, but I don't think it's.
It's like telling your wife that you need to pop out for petrol when you need to go buy her like her birthday present.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. But at the same time, if there's people and parents that want to tell their kids straight, sure. Like, it's not like you're doing the world a disservice. You're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like.
So we've got some friends that did. They said, like, we're not doing Santa. We're just going to tell them the truth. their son then went into school, told all the kids.
Which is, bound to
And they
happen.
got called in by the teacher. I think it might have even been the head teacher.
No.
They were like, not sure what they've been called in for. It said, well, he stood up in the class and said, Santa's not real. And my friend, I was like, what did you do? He was like, I just laughed. It's like, what? It's not a reason to be called into
That's
school.
like where they get into their own little world, isn't it, of importance.
Maybe.
Where do I submit my petrol receipt for this meeting?
I'm claiming this mileage.
Jordan, I had a really embarrassing moment last week. Like even thinking about it now, I feel not embarrassing, just really awkward. I felt so awkward. I wanted to just collapse inside myself.
Oh no.
So my wife was in hospital. She was really unwell. And so my daughter had been invited to a princess birthday party. So I was sole charge of the prep, getting it ready. And like to start things off, I had put the wrong address in when I was planning. And so it was further away than I had planned.
Solid start.
Like a good chunk further away as well.
So were you late?
Yeah. And I was already late from my first time of like trying to leave. So I realised when I got in the car, that's not the right place.
How late are we talking?
I was an hour late.
An hour?
I was a full hour late.
Was the party an hour long?
Thank God it was like 2 hours long. I did have visions of like my daughter crying because I ruined her day. Didn't get to experience Elsa at the party.
Just like the cleaner sweeping up at the end.
Or they've just got the cake, handing out party bags. Oh, yeah, I was dreading that. But so I actually arrived because I planned to be there really early. It turns out I arrived 40 minutes late to the vicinity.
Yep.
And then trying to find parking took me 20 minutes.
Oh, nightmare.
Yep. And then when I got out the car finally found a space. I had no idea where I was going. And my daughter was upset, so I was trying to hold her, trying to pay for parking, and also trying to find out where this party is so I'm not a minute later. Like, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because I'm so British that when I'm late, I go into full panic mode. Like, I hate being late. It's like, oh, I'm late. Just everything gets really stressful. Anyway, this isn't even the awkward bit. So we turn up an hour late, and it's a full-on princess party. Like, all the girls are dressed head to toe in Elsa gear. Like, my daughter's got her Elsa garms on. She's got a little cape.
Garms.
She's got a little headband with a little fake, what's it called? Braid.
Not a clue.
Yeah. It's a blonde braid. She's got brown hair. Doesn't work. She doesn't realise. Anyway. But because my daughter's she's not a full self. She's not fully recovered. She doesn't want to leave me. I have to go everywhere with her. Not only are all the kids dressed up, there's a grown woman, which I assume is hosting it's not like they've paid for this service. She's dressed up as Elsa, singing into a mic. And like, I was so embarrassed. I couldn't look at her. I felt so awkward. And then it came like lunchtime, and they had to sit around these little tables, and my daughter wouldn't sit with anyone, so I had to go sit with her. And at that point, the lady came around trying to mingle, trying to break the ice with all the kids.
Oh, come on now.
I didn't even notice. And she was talking to all the kids, and she was right next to me, but I felt so awkward, I didn't look at her.
No.
And I just wanted to collapse and die. I just wanted to pretend like nothing was happening. I just fixed my eyes on my daughter, like, oh, are you enjoying your sandwiches?
Not engaging.
I don't know what it is.
With the princess.
It made me feel so uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't know how to explain.
If you're listening to like Jace's demeanour, you can see he's twitching a little bit.
Like, I'm socially awkward at the best of times, but and the room was sensory overload. It was dark. There was music. There was decorations everywhere. Like, it was a really good kids' party. But I was already stressed, and I was like, I am dying here. And what made it funnier is that after they'd all eaten, Elsa was like, let's have a sing and a dance. She got all the kids around this little dance floor. She was singing her heart out, and all the kids were just staring at her, just so enamoured. Like, oh, it's Elsa. But like my daughter knows all the words So all the Frozen songs, didn't move her lips. Just
I need to get this off my chest. Elsa is overrated.
100%.
Anna, underrated.
Also, their parents really are really to blame. Not the fact that they died, but
I thought you meant the kids whose birthday it was.
no, it was actually a legit great party. I was just so awkward.
Well, do you know what you need to do with this experience? You need to let it go. Sorry.
I knew it was coming.
It's low-hanging fruit. It's there for the taking. So I too went to a kids' party recently. It was superhero themed.
Nice.
And after the cake and all that kind of stuff, Spider-Man made an appearance.
Amazing.
But it was quite obviously Spider-Woman. and the host's sister had disappeared. Ooh. So she missed Spider-Woman.
Missed Spider-Man.
So
it's been good.
All the kids are there like loving life, and they're all going like this, like with their hands. My son's going, "Daddy, it's the real Spider-Man." For whatever reason, it just fell out of my face. I went, "Do a flip, Spider-Man."
No. No. Oh.
Instead of just letting them believe.
That poor person as well.
I know.
They've gone the extra mile. They've put the Spider-Man outfit on. They have to deal with parents like you.
Yeah, heckling.
Yeah.
Spider-Man didn't do a flip.
Did they acknowledge it?
I think a bobble might have fallen out. One day that I can't wait to be Spider-Man. And that do the whole thing of like, I just had to pop out. What have I missed? You missed Spider-Man, Daddy.
Is that like a bucket list item?
It's not a bucket list item, but I know like one day I'll end up doing that sort of thing.
Just be there
like hat hair, sweaty.
I missed Spider-Man.
I just had to run to the shops. Can't believe I missed Spider-Man. Oh mate, kids parties.
And this is not dissing Elsa and the fair play. Like the kids loved it.
Yeah.
I just realised when I'm stressed already and tired and late, I don't want to be in any awkward situation. And it wasn't awkward. I was the only awkward one there. Everyone else was loving it. Couldn't do anything about it. That was it.
There you go. This is haunting you, isn't it? I can tell.
Yep.
How many times have you thought about it since?
Every night. No.
Every night. So we just want to take just a few moments to talk to you about today's sponsor of the pod, which is Plum. Plum is a smart money app, which has got a really cool saving feature that we genuinely love and we both use.
Yeah, we genuinely actually use it. That was like one of our main conditions. This has to actually be helpful for us and for anyone that we recommend it to.
Absolutely. So we started using Plum and we really find it helpful. So the way that it works is it automatically analyzes your spending and will save a different amount of money for you each week and just put it into a little savings account on the app. Super useful. Recently we went to the zoo. We used our Plum money for the tickets, had a great day out with the family. Lovely.
Amazing.
Had a lovely time. This is a true story as well. This isn't one of these like fake advert things. I was driving recently and a stone cracked my windscreen. This was a month before Christmas.
No.
I'm just like, I can't believe
already stressing.
It. Yeah. And I've already paid out for my car for a repair recently. Then this happens on top. Just went to my Plum, took the money out of my Plum pocket, paid for the repair.
I sorted you out.
Sorted me out. Honestly, it's genuinely really good. Highly recommend Plum. And their saving feature, but not also that. Go back 15 seconds. Genuinely really good. We love it. And it's great. Highly recommend. But as parents, having a little bit of extra spending money, so useful.
Yeah, all the time. Literally searching everywhere.
So there's kids' parties. There's family days out.
There's always stuff you need to buy.
Always stuff you need to buy. The free stuff isn't free.
And the snacks.
Constant snacks. And the cost of living going up and up and up. Having a bit of extra spending money is really useful. So I've considered recently investing. Bit of a minefield though. Don't really know where to start.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, it can be a lot to take in, but I love the idea of my money doing a little bit more for me. Plum's investment feature is super useful to use. You can set it up in minutes. There are over 3,000 stocks to invest in, 20 funds. Really helpful.
And you can invest from as little as a pound. Literally just ease your way in. If it's a bit too much for you, like just start there. That's where I started. And genuinely so helpful.
Yeah. We'll say this though, investing is a risk. You may lose money, you may gain money, but take it as you want to. So download Plum today from your app store. Okay, it's just a quick one that I've seen on TikTok from the Picky Boys. They asked the question.
Yeah, the Picky Boys.
They asked the question, how many owls do you have to see in a day before it becomes weird?
Before it becomes weird.
Before it becomes weird.
More than one.
So like two.
Yeah, two. Yeah, two. Two is more than one.
So you're seeing 2 owls and you're like, that is weird.
Yeah, because I rarely see an owl. Owls are not something that I see regularly. If I see more than one in a day, it's weird.
So you're settling on two. So for me, it's 3. One owl, I'm like, oh, there's an owl. 2, I'm like, what are the chances we've seen 2 owls today? And I'm like texting people. And I'm putting it in the WhatsApp, like, I've seen 2 owls today. No one's replying. Someone's reacting with a thumbs up. Everyone else is ignoring it. 3 owls, I'm like, oh, that's a bit sus.
Yeah, where's the Hogwarts letter?
I'm like, why are there 3 owls? The difference between my excitement of 2 and my suspicion of 3 is quite stark.
See, mine begins at 2. The second owl is, that's unnerving.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
See, with that, there's loads of little mice running around.
Dubious.
It is.
Little mice running. You see the owls and you're like, where are the mice?
Am I the mouse?
Am I the mouse?
Are they hunting me?
Just panicking.
Playing goots.
Get indoors. Not today, owls. Am I the mouse? Oh man, that's really funny. Before we leave this episode, because time is getting on, had a little debate recently with my wife.
Debate or an argument?
A disagreement.
Was it more of like a civil debate?
Yeah, we just disagreed on something. So we were in our bedroom and we could hear our son in his bedroom singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Robin laid an egg.
Robin flew away.
Oh, he flew. Oh,
Yeah. Chasing those mice. Uncle Billy lost his willy on the motorway.
Hey, classic.
Mate, what a tune.
Yeah, it's a classic.
There you go. So that's what I said. So she called him in and she said, look, just heard you singing that song. A little bit rude, don't sing it. He was like, okay. He then left and I said, got to disagree with you there. Jingle Bells, Batman Smells is it's a rite of passage for kids, especially little boys, to sing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
I suppose, but what age is the appropriate age?
I mean, it all depends on location as well.
Location?
Yeah, like if you're at home on your own and you're in your 30s singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, it's not too weird.
I mean, that is weird. But
If you're out in public, yeah. There you go. So yeah, she said, don't sing about willies.
Yeah, understandable.
It's rude.
I'm
there going, look, we've all done it. And it's a time-honored tradition. The song is passed down on the playground so that like there are generations that might miss out on Jingle Bells.
It's like
Batman Smells.
It's like Bulldog.
Yeah.
No one has to. We don't have to actively pass that down. That's being passed down each year.
Yep. All those things.
Kids getting tackled like
Boom.
until it gets banned at school.
My elbows, that concrete.
I do get it though. It's like, so me and my wife have like differing levels of what we think is appropriate or what's crude or what's rude or what we don't want your kids to say. Well, we're on the same page of what we don't want our daughter to say, but like when we'd first brought this up, we were on different pages of like just how you're brought up, isn't it? Like something, there were words that were in my vocabulary that I didn't even know were considered like swear words or rude. I just thought it was normal vernacular.
Oof.
Good word.
Lovely.
But she was taught she was taught the correct way because Google confirmed. But I don't have like the attachment to those words as being like, oh, that's a bit crude. But like with your kids, it's like, at what age is it appropriate to sing that? But at the same time, it is.
I mean, when I said we debated, my only rebuttal was,
What is your argument?
but it's Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. That was it. Like, we've all done it. It's like, so our son, we've got, he's got cousins, and inevitably when they get together, they fight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm all right with it. I'm all right with a bit of a push and a pull.
Are they boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what lads do. We've done it either with my cousins. We'd watch Rocky 3.
Get the music on.
Yep. Eye of the Tiger.
Fight, Adrian!
And then like we'd have to like rewind the tape first. And then tops come off, you stop fighting. That's what we used to do. So when we go to like my sister's house and she's going, look, no fighting today. She's preparing them, no fighting.
Yeah.
I'm not actively saying, right, I want a clean fight today.
Remember those uppercuts?
But I'm also not like discouraged. I don't mind if they have a bit of a little bit of a scrap. What I do mind is when they come to me crying because they hurt. Like,
yeah, like it's
I don't want to hear it.
It's not like they're actively like, choking each other out, like until they pass out.
Yeah, and it's family members. It's not.
Yeah, like there's definitely a difference between like having a boyish little scrap and like an actual fight.
Yeah,
like some of my fondest memories of like my cousins would us just fighting.
Yeah.
And like we're just having a good time, like just having a gold scrap. Whereas my wife doesn't have those memories. And like not like to be sexist, but there is definitely like when it's younger boys, I just feel like they can have a scrap. They just tend. My nephew loves to just throw things at people, and the other day, my brother-in-law said, "Yeah, he slapped a kid in the face the other day,
okay,
just 'cause he's in the way." I'm like, yeah. Interesting.
Be over the line a little bit.
Oh, 100%. But like, there's definitely a boisterous nature to it, which, like, I've had some instances with my daughter, but it's not in the same sense. Like, she's reacted to something, whereas I don't know.
Lads just love a fight, don't they?
All I can speak of is from my experience. I love to fight. I love to fight. It's not like a fight club. We're not like going at each other.
He came up to me once. He was like, "Daddy, let's have a fight." And my wife and I, we answered at the same time. She went, "No, we do not fight." I went, "I'll batter you." So yeah, we're coming at it from different angles.
But like, obviously, you don't want your kid to be the one like punching people at school. That's not. But it's a different environment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you put all those boundaries in place.
They know the rules.
But like growing up, my dad had this thing where he would like shout "Royal Rumble." And so me, my sister, and my older brother would all scramble to find. We all had boxing gloves for this purpose, like the big chunky ones, and we'd all just pummel each other, or mainly my dad.
Yeah,
But like it's just a fun little scrap.
What a lovely memory.
But it's not. I'm not then going into school going Royal Rumble and
Bang. My dad started to do this. He takes on the persona of the crusher. He started to call it, and basically just like grabs all his grandkids and like squeezes them.
Ah, that's lovely.
It is lovely, really wholesome, but
But
his timing of it is shocking. Just as we've like calmed them down after like previously fighting, or as we've got their shoes and coats on to leave, he's like, "Who wants the crusher?" And they're all like,
rise them all up again.
and they all pretend that they don't want the crusher to run away, and then they run towards him. They're like, "No, not the crusher!" And then they like run into his arms, like, "No!" And he just squeeze. And I'm like, "Okay, like now we're here for more minutes.
Now we've got to calm down again.
Yeah,
Try and get in the car.
Let us leave."
That's
Oh, mate. Yeah, good. So that was Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. I feel like we're doing the world an injustice. if we stop this one child from
it
singing
will be traced back to you if it doesn't carry on. You will be the root cause.
It'll be like a BBC 3
That would just be
documentary.
a lost tradition of no one will know. No one will ever know.
Where did it end?
It's like the songs that the Egyptians sang. We don't know.
I don't
Ancient
want
Egypt,
that blood
go
on
on.
my hands. I don't want to be responsible for the end of Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Oh, George, so Christmas is a few days away from when this comes out.
A few days away. I don't know why I sighed there.
I'm not ready.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You're mentally preparing yourself for what's to come.
I am both simultaneously ready and not ready.
Yeah. We just want to say Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. One and all.
I was wondering I thought you were going to see how many different ways you could say happy.
Jolly. Antithesis Christmas.
Yeah, I really do hope you have a great Christmas. And if Christmas isn't a good time for you, if it's a bit difficult, feel free to send us a message.
Yeah.
It can be a bit tricky for some.
Yeah.
But do we have an episode coming out next week?
Yep. Next Friday. Whatever the date is. 29th.
Great.
So there'll be something between now and New Year.
Amazing.
Have a great Christmas, guys. And if it is chaos and if it is mental, write it down.
Write it down. Send it to us.
Send it to us.
There we go.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.